Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton King. We're getting to the end of 95, but I think the video should pick up now after this one. It's 95 where I've said everything that needs to be said and we're just still doing shows already. This is actually the second date in Chicago that year, so they'd already played Chicago and then come back again. And this is the last date of this particular leg, or tour, or whatever you want to call it. Last one of 95. It does have the feeling of, just another live album. But I mean, whether that's something to do with it being club number 43, but that's the way it feels. What a great era though, I don't hear signs of tiredness on this one for whatever reason. Whether they were tired or not, I don't really know. It's very consistent though, 95. It's interesting reading the liner notes in this particular one because it brings up the issue of women in King Crimson. Well, not women in King Crimson, there was only Judy Dibble and she wasn't in King Crimson. But women liking King Crimson or women not liking King Crimson, which is a thing. Supposedly, women not liking King Crimson. And there's examples in there of it not being true, and certainly in my experiences, I saw them in 2000, there was loads of women there, and I saw them in 2015, there was loads of women there. So I did notice, because I did look, because it's a thing people talk about, there were more women in 2015, interestingly. So it's a myth, by the looks of things. Where that came from, who knows, I always felt the double trio got better in 96, even though the vocals are better in 95. But I've noticed there's only 2 shows from 96 we've got. And one is the end of the tour where they're tired. So really, it's Aztec THRAK. It's live in Mexico. It's a really good show for the instrumental playing stuff. So when I say that, really that's what I'm thinking of, I think. So maybe 95 overall is better, I don't know. But maybe less dangerous. It's harder for bands to release the dangerous stuff, isn't it? Hopefully that's something King Crimson do. The other thing is, you notice there's so little announcements. In fact, there aren't any. I think Baloo talks to the audience a little bit, occasionally, but generally there's no announcements. Much like in 2015. So yeah, track 1 is Conundrum again, the drum duet. Good way to open, very different to opening with soundscapes obviously. Then we've got Thela Hun Ginjeet, another very good version, not better than the 80s. Then we've got Red, and again as I keep saying, guitars sound great, Billy's comparatively subdued compared to what he was like in earlier years. You'd think you'd expect more from multiple drummers really, and that's been confirmed with the 2015 version, oh yes. Track 4 is Frame by Frame, always great in the 90s. I think the Broadway version is better, as it happens, but there's very little in it, obviously. Dinosaur, always good, obviously, it's good as usual. The middle section seems particularly long and particularly lots of pauses. I don't know if that was my imagination, but there's no rush. There doesn't seem to be any rush with this one. One Time, I love this song. Always awesome, and it's one of those Fripp and Baloo things where Fripp's written something and Baloo has turned it into a ballad, like Mate Coda Marine. Then we've got Vroom Vroom, and it's much faster now, killer version. They can really let rip on this now, which is great. Then we're into BBOOM. Some slightly different noises at the start, and some vocal samples in there as well. Quite powerful stuff, a bit of mellotrons before it kicks in with the stuff. And Bill does some really cool 80s synth stuff, which he doesn't normally do at that particular point. And we wouldn't hear much more 80s synth stuff from Bill. There's only another year of it, and then he would drop it. I think it shows it's the last show. They're having a bit of a play, which is great, so it makes it a really good version. Maybe that's the best BBOOM, possibly. Or maybe Mexico's better, I don't know. Then we've got THRAK. They've changed it slightly. They've stopped doing the 3 beats, the over the riff. They've just gone back to going for some reason. I don't know why, but that's what, after this point, that's how they played it. Then we've got the usual quiet piano synth stuff. Very ELP sounding piano, actually, I think. There's marimba-y stuff in there, and it quickly sort of falls apart actually. So Fripp kicks in, sort of break the quiet with some grinding noises. I think that's Pat Maslow playing standard rhythm, and then eventually it all goes completely mental and falls apart again. Made me think of We'll Let You Know. I don't know why. It wasn't We'll Let You Know, but it sounded like it. It was interesting. It's only a meh THRAK, actually, sadly, after a really good BBOOM. But that's just the way it goes with improvisation, obviously. Track 10 is Neurotica, so no, we don't reprise THRAK. We go into Neurotica. Yeah, another awesome version. There's a better version still to come. 3 of Perfect Pair. It was a shame it was messy in the 90s. It didn't seem to suit the double trio, but the vocals are fantastic. I think they played it too fast. Then we got Sex, Sleep, Eat, Drink, Dream. I think generally that was much the same from now on. It got a bit heavier and then that was it, really. A couple of interesting things in there though, so yeah. Then we got Disc 2 and we're on to the 2 Sticks improvisation. Lots of Levin hammer-ons, stuff. And then Gun comes in quite distorted, and the little arpeggio thing starts, but there's not much interaction. They're just playing stuff. It doesn't sound like they're playing together. And then we've got Element Talk, great version, yeah. Then track 3, Indiscipline. Bill does another messing with the time thing, as he does on the Japan video, where he's trying to catch Tony Levin out and can't. Nobody can catch out Tony Levin's time. The vocals aren't as rushed as with on Broadway, so it is a better version. But generally it's a generic version of Indiscipline, after the drumming anyway. And Walking on Air, great version. Great song. Is there effect on Baloo's voice? He seems a bit distant. Maybe he's weary, it's the end of the tour, I don't know, but obviously he sounds so good, so I don't know why they would do that. It's a bit of a shame, really. Then straight into Larks Songs Aspic Part 2, so they didn't bother with Talking Drum, which is a shame, but yeah, Larks Songs Part 2, really good with double trio, really heavy. And then we got Prism, which is the other drum duet, into Free as a Bird. Yes, Free as a Bird, because it was released during the Broadway shows, and so Baloo decided to play it. Obviously he's carried on playing it with piano synth, and he's playing it like the demo without the complete vocals and everything, which is funny. And then we end the show with VROOOM and Coda Marine 475. It's a heavy way to end the show, so that's really good. Another good one. That was Chicago. See you next week.